Officer Ricky Antoine is known around Port Arthur, Texas as the man who gave his own mother a traffic ticket. She was driving 42 miles an hour in a 30 zone out by the high school football stadium. She didn't cook him chicken dinner for the next couple months. Antoine wears sports sunglasses and drives a fuel-black Dodge Charger. Cameras peer out from the top of the trunk, their lenses scanning license plates in search of drivers who haven't paid their traffic fines. License plate recognition software is often touted as a way to catch terrorists, dangerous fugitives on the run, and stolen cars. But Port Arthur and many other departments around the country use it for a less extreme but more lucrative purpose: to pull over people who owe debts to the city municipal court, demanding in many cases that they either pay up or go to jail. The brochure that reached Police Chief Blanton's desk in 2008 displayed a picture of Manhattan's Chrysler Building, lit up against the night sky. The software the brochure advertised was called the Mobile Plate Hunter 900 series, and it could read up to 1,500 license plate images per minute across 4 lanes of traffic, and alert officers within milliseconds if a vehicle is suspect. The technology could aid law enforcement not just with homeland security, but also with stolen cars, Amber Alerts, and wanted or missing persons. The pitch gave Blanton another idea. Why not give the device to his traffic unit to catch people who had arrest warrants for their unpaid tickets? Typically, the people who didn't pay the city the money they owed would only be held to account if officers caught them on a different driving infraction. The police plate readers would allow the officer to pull people over without any other probable cause. The number of Port Arthur debtors in the county jail had already started to surge, but with the advent of the license plate readers, it exploded. The amount the city spent on locking people up jumped 175%, but at the same time, revenue from fines rose by more, from $1.2 million to $2.1 million. In Port Arthur, the impact is especially stark. The city of 55,000 is one of the poorest in Texas. For many residents already struggling to meet their obligations, traffic tickets add yet another burden that may tip them into further financial ruin. Many end up behind bars. For low-income hourly workers, time in jail can cost them a job, and even if they don't lose their job, they lose wages. Missing a few days of work can make the difference between staying afloat and drowning in debt. Traffic safety is equally important for poor people and for people with money, but traffic fines, as they're typically imposed, inflict far more pain on poor people. A recent BuzzFeedNews investigation found that some judges across Texas routinely ignore basic state and federal laws meant to protect people from getting jailed simply because they're too poor to pay their fines. And that's not the case in Port Arthur. Municipal Judge Kermit Morrison tries to help people struggling with their fines, offering them community service or payment plans that can run as low as $5 per month. Port Arthur's attempt to work with people is helpful, said Judith Green, director of the New York-based nonprofit policy research group Justice Strategies. But even community service places a hardship on people who may have low-income jobs that consume much of their time and may have children to look after. And it's a hardship that the wealthy, who simply pay their fines, don't have to face. As a result, she said, poor people go to jail and rich people walk. Port Arthur's traffic enforcement frenzy has begun to level off. Fine collection had risen to 3 times higher than it was before the traffic unit, but nowadays it's back down to merely double. Jailing has dropped in the past 18 months too. That may be because 3 of the 6 license plate reader cars stopped working within the past 2 years, and the city has been slow to replace them. Another factor is that Antoine is more of a figurehead these days. He teaches driver safety classes, writes a column in the Port Arthur News called Ask a Cop, and co-hosts a weekly radio show. All this leaves less time for traffic stops. Despite his zeal for writing tickets, Antoine said he takes no joy from hauling people in poverty to lockup. "You have a heart, and you feel for those people," he said. "The judge could charge $1. I don't care.